Hey yo, Kid Train, turn up the music. I got you. Yeah. What up guys, it's Kid Train right here and it's been long overdue. Welcome to the breakdown episode 5. And in today's session we're going to be training chest. So I'm going to take you guys through my workouts, telling you what I do, how I train, and what I'm going to be incorporating into this chest exercise. So if you're new here, feel free to hit on the subscribe button down below, do us a favor, and on the notification key for what comes new video. So if you're not familiar with my videos, right, this is the breakdown. I'm going to give you guys every tips through my experience in bodybuilding or training and fitness in general, my ideology on how I approach fitness. So stay tuned and while we jump in to this exercise, catch you inside. So the thing with a bench press is, if you get to lift with every of these exercises, if you get to lift with intent, if you get to lift with a passion and work out with a passion, like you are about to get this done. You understand me? You're gonna get the best out of it. So with bench press, trust me, when I ever started working out, bench press was the goal for me. I never had access to every other kind of chest exercise or chest equipment that you have nowadays that we have right in this gym. So all I did was focus on the bench press, and the bench press throughout the years was able to give me that chest spec, was able to define my chest. So with that, I concentrated on one thing. So this is for you out there. I'm just trying to give you value, right? So when you come to the gym or when you're trying to work out and you feel like you got to go through everything, that's not the way. That's not how you're going to get gains, and that's not how you're going to concentrate on what you really want. If you concentrate on a specific exercise and you give your best into it and you lift with intent, trust me, you're going to get what you deserve. You're going to get the gains you deserve. Bench press, #1 sauce in your chest exercises, and you're going to get the best out of it. For me, this is what I do. This is my go-to, and of course nowadays I've been able to advance to have the opportunity to incorporate other set of chest equipment into my workouts. And with bench press, just stick with it. I like it when you see me laying down here, you're gonna feel like, oh, I'm so straight up. No, when you bench press, or when you're doing any sort of like bench press on your back laying down, you have to understand that you have to try to create like a set of like an arc right under your back, right? So you're lifting more or less with your shoulders locked and you're pushing it right there, right? You may not really see it from the side of that, but that's actually what I'm doing. I'm almost lifting up with my shoulders locked and with my chest up, right? And that way you get control. In the middle of it, when you get to feel like, the barbell is going off place, just relax. Keep it all together, and then you continue the process. You don't need to rush it. And now I think this is the last set on this one, and then we'll be moving on to the next. So, come on, with me. So right here, on to the next. I'm gonna go for the incline, right? So we don't need to stick all the way back to what I was doing or how I started literally, right? So I'm going to do the incline, right? The incline press, and right now I will reduce the weight. So, and again, this is the secret to Ken's train workout, how I work out, how I've been able to gain, how I've been able to gain all of this, right? I'm giving my secret now, and that's the reason for the breakdown. I'm giving you how, the secret sauces that I use to manifest all of this, right? So I don't need to go with lot of weights on here. I don't need to. If I want to do that, I'm going to do that. But right now, I'm focusing really on the point. And the point is the gains. And the point is that I want to feel, when I'm out of this bench, I want to feel that chest, compressing together. I want to feel that pop, right? So now, the sources for the incline chest press is to focus on the upper pec, the upper chest pec, right? So with a flat bench press, we focus on the middle pec, or literally the whole side of the whole top of the chest. But right now, we want to focus specifically on the upper chest to get it, you feel me, to get it popped up, and then you're creating that illusion or whatever you want to call it. So let's get it on the roll right here. So over there with the incline chest press, what you may really notice that I did there was, you may understand, or if you really saw, you may see my hands felt like my two hands were really close to each other. Well, that's how I like to lift. I really like to lift so close, a little bit close, right? Because I don't want so much of a broader chest, right? So these are just part of my techniques that I use to look like I look, right? While I train, or when I'm training. So this is just all the values and constraints, everything. Listen, if you're gonna lift, you better lift like you fucking mean it, right? I'm using these terms, I'm just using these terms just to certify a meaning of, right? You can't go sit down on a bench. You just can't go pick up a weight and feel like you go just lift it up like, if you go work out like you mean it. That is how you get them gains, right? So on the seated chest fly, right, I'm going to supersetting over here. Like I said, from my previous videos, when I work out with superset. So depending on the specific exercise that I know I can alter to superset with it, I do it, right? So I usually superset with this, so I can just keep on lifting up the weight, the drop set, superset, right? So, but that's just what I do with it. Well, the point is to keep up the extravagant contraction in the chest pec, right? That's why the seated fly is nice, or the standing fly is down. We're gonna get to that. But if you're gonna lift like you mean it, right? Like you're about to rip up the muscles of your body. And that is the way you get gains. And that is the way I train. And that is why I've been able to build this figure this way. I keep saying it because this is the breakdown. And I'm sharing my tips out. So I cannot just be quiet. I gotta let you know, right? So after a setting workout, when you're done from your session, you're gonna be feeling like, load, pressure, sets, repetitions, right? You gotta incorporate all of this. You gotta involve all of this. But then that boils down to techniques, how you lift, right? So I've been lifting for years, as long as I can remember, right? Can remember the specifics, right? Well, and I've never had like any kind of like injuries or something like that, because that's my principle, right? And I'm lifting because I want to come tomorrow to lift again, right? So in as much as you have 5 of these important factors while lifting or while building, you have to understand also techniques and at which you lift, right? At which you gonna get that feeling, or there's what I call feeling. So I call it like feeling of pain. So there's a way, set of kind of way you can feel pain. But of course, when you do something very intense, you're gonna feel the pain. But are you really working out for them gains, right? Are you really working out to build? Are you really exercising to build, right? You can exercise to feel some certain word of pain, and then you feel like, oh yeah, you're done. But as a muscle growing and stuff like, it's just my, it's in my own head, it's my own principle, right? So that is why when I lift, I have a certain level at which I lift to, and that is what I'm trying to let you know, that you can get all of this. You can grow each day. You can, after a month, after 6 months, you can look extremely, magnificent if you've been doing everything right. So that's the idea, the mindset, how you gonna get everything together and do it the proper way, right? Intact. I was actually going to do more or less like the standing fly, cable standing fly, because I feel if I was just on a normal day, if I was training, I was going to just do that seated fly that we did previously, and then I was also going to do the cable fly, because you know what? I never knew the love I could have for cable flies until I actually started incorporating it into my workout, or you can say until I tried it, right? So it was just, the effect it brings into the chest spec, it's ridiculous, right? So ever since then, I've always loved it. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm doing more or less like the cable fly lower chest, right? So we're doing the bench, we're doing the incline, and we're doing the sitting. Then it's really focused on right on the upper to the middle side of the chest. Right now, we gotta focus on the lower part of the chest, and that is why I'm incorporating the cable chest fly, the lower chest fly, and to hit it up, right? So to give the chest that complete ratio of defining of what you're looking for and what we're talking about. So right here, there's not so much weight, right? But when you keep on going for reps, you're gonna feel the pressure of what I'm talking about, the intensity. I can feel those chests popping, right? So I've been able to pour out information from my experience book in this video. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs up too. Hey, remember, leave in the comment section below what you feel about this whole video. And thank you guys once again for staying and keeping tuned with me, right? That being said, remember to hit on the subscribe button below and on the notification key, because there's gonna be coming more days. Thank you guys once again. Keep training. Out.